Okay. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a good start to their week. And let's finish this week off strong. You know how we do. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. Go ahead and put a thumbs up in the comment section, or just let me know that I'm good in the comment section. But how's everybody doing? And for the third week in a row, I have to say the same thing. What a difference a game makes. We go from the opener against the Commanders, going into that game with the highest of highs and then the lowest of lows. You get to the Dallas game, the offense played pretty well, and good. I would say good enough to win the game, and then what happened, and then the darkness hits with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I had high hopes that we can do something for the home opener, but what a difference a day in a game makes. But that's enough of that. We move into the future. Obviously, we got a big game this week, the second home game of the season against the Los Angeles Chargers, LA Chargers, or the Chargers, because some people might still want to say San Diego. I still find myself slipping up sometimes too. But yeah, man, we moving along to the Chargers, and then also the big news about the quarterback swap and Jackson Dart being named the starter and stuff like that. But without further ado, man, I want to go ahead and introduce the guest for the night. Shout out to my man Stacey from Chargers Talk. Go ahead and bring him in right now. What's going on, my man Stacey? How you doing?
What's up, brother? How you feel? Good to be here.
I appreciate you. And again, I said in the back room, I appreciate you for joining tonight. Again, it's a cool vibe. We're going to talk a little bit about the game and stuff like that. But before we get started, again, I know you are retired services. Thank you for your service,
Yes,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So, man, without further ado, actually, before we do that, I do a quick roll call, really quick roll call for the people that's in the building. Shout out to my man Bookend Tackles in the building. Scooby, what's going on, Scoob? Scoob in the building said Big Dash knows. That's a fact. Phil, what's going on, Phil? Been waiting for this day. Let's go Dart. Let's go Giants. Lawrence Freeman in the building. What's going on, Lawrence? He says, so when do we try something with the interior offensive line? We're going to get to that. Maybe not this show, but we're going to get to that. It's a couple things to talk about. DeMarco in the building says, Dash, what's good, brother? What's good, DeMarco? Luann, day one. What's going on, Luann? Dart. Next season will be a playoff one. Maybe this year, too. You know what I say. Hopefully. My big brother in the building. What's going on, big bro? Kevin Wilson. Again, Luann in the building. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for the love and support. So, my man. The Chargers are 3-0. Arguably the best team in the AFC. Not just the AFC West. Y'all got that on lock right now. But arguably one of the best teams in the AFC West. I'm sorry, AFC. Yeah. Listen, man, I'm excited for the game, man. I got new excitement, too, because if you would ask me a couple days ago, I was down in the dumps looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. But let me know a little bit about this. Like I said, 3-0. Are you where you expected this team to be? Are you surprised at where you guys are at? What's going on with the Chargers, man?
Hey, I'm excited to be it's an exciting time to be a Charger fan right now. For years, we've always, throughout our history, have always had great quarterbacks, high-powered offense, whether it was Dan Fouts or, Phillip Rivers for 17 years. In fact, we've probably been kind of lucky when it comes to quarterbacks because you had Phillip Rivers for 17 years. You had Dan Fouts for like 14 years. You had Drew Brees before that. So we've been pretty good when it came to quarterbacks, but never really had a defense, a lot of those teams back in the day, like the Steelers, those guys that had power running games and powerful defenses, we never had that defense. And I'm like, man, we ain't gonna never get together. But finally, it got Jim Harbaugh. I'm shocked the ownership did it, but it proves to us that they want to win. They know what it takes to win, and Harbaugh's come in, and I'm not surprised by anything that's happening. A lot of other people in the sports media, they are, I listen to them a lot, and they tell me how surprised they are all the time. But the reason why I'm not surprised is because, they always tell you for years, Harbaugh, he's won in Stanford. He's won with Toreros. He won championships with Michigan. The 49ers were a 5-win team before he came there. Hadn't had a winning season in 9 straight years, and he took them right to the Super Bowl in 3 straight NFC title games. So now that he's here, I expected this kind of success with Harbaugh here.
Now, and I was like, I remember when Harbaugh was available, and even before he was available, there were those rumors saying that he wanted to come back to the NFL. And obviously, it was around the same time that the New York Giants needed a coach too, but just couldn't get those things timed. I would have loved to get Harbaugh. Harbaugh again, he's a winner wherever he's gone.
Yeah.
That's proven. I want to talk about you 3-0. You guys already played the Chiefs, Raiders, and Broncos? Is that right?
Absolutely, man.
So undefeated in the division.
Yeah, listen.
No, but
hey, look, I was kind of pissed a little bit. I thought the NFL schedule makers didn't do us no respect at all before the season started. So I'm like, how did you come out the gate and face everyone in your division first? But now looking back on it, and we didn't beat everybody in division. It worked out perfect for us right now when the defense is playing really good. The offense is clicking, the running back of Mario Hampton. We lost Najee Harris last week.
Yeah.
But as soon as he left out, he was the bell cow, and Amarian was going to be eased in slowly. But once he went out, man, Amarian was everywhere, man, catching screens out in the flat, lining up as receiver, running between the tackles. So I'm really excited about this running back.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because I looked at the first game again. I thought, how this running back by committee? How's it going to work? And I remember you guys picked up Najee and drafted Omarion right then. And I was like, okay, how's Najee going to feel about this? But then he had the issue with the fireworks, and then
unfortunately,
and then now with is it the tendon patella? I'm not it's ACL.
Blew,
is it
blew his Achilles? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's awful too, man. Because again, my wife's a Steeler fan.
Okay.
So she was a big Najee fan too. She hated that he went, that he left the Steelers and stuff like that. But I'm just sitting here like, man, I knew Harbaugh was definitely going to try to fix the running game. That's his pedigree.
Yeah.
He went offensive line in the draft. He went and got Joe Alt, and that seems to be a blessing now because you guys had a chance to get neighbors.
100%.
You got Alt, and then Slater goes down, and now you got a little bit of a musical chairs going with the offensive line. But you guys are holding it together. And I said earlier, what a difference a week makes, because last week Russell Wilson was leading all quarterbacks in yards, passing yards. And then I look up this week, and then all of a sudden it's Justin Herbert with I think just under 1,000 yards already, about 860 yards like that. So here's my question about Justin Herbert, because again, it was the Giants were tied to Justin Herbert before you decided to go back to Oregon. That was Dave Gettleman's guy. He followed him all over the country that year, and then he said, "You know what? I want to play one more year with my brother." And then we get Daniel Jones. Following year, you guys get Justin Herbert. And it's funny too, because a couple people passed on Herbert that year. A couple people passed on Herbert.
Miami did, that's for sure.
Yeah, they took to it.
Yeah.
but when it comes to Herbert, again, third head coach, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But despite all that, has always been productive since he got here.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's something this year? Can he get over that hump of getting that first playoff win this year? You guys feel like that? Because I think you guys got a pretty good doggone team going together.
Yeah, 100%. I think that coaching means so much, man. Coaching matters, man, and you just can't stress that enough. And bounced around with 3 different coaches. It's rough on a quarterback, but even though he was very productive, he threw for 4,000 yards. Every year, 1 year he threw for over 5,000 yards. But you can be a human stat machine, but it doesn't translate to wins. And when Harbaugh came, Harbaugh taught him how to win. Because last year people were calling me, telling me what's going on with the Chargers. They holding Herbert back. Herbert went from throwing 400 yards a game to throwing maybe 150 yards a game, but the difference was we was winning. I didn't like it at first, seeing all these run schemes with Greg Roman. I'm like, our offense, it don't look good. I don't like how it looked. But as the season went on, I'm like, you know what? I have to embrace it, because at the end of the day, we're winning games. And that's what counts, winning. So it don't matter how many stats you put up if you're not winning games and getting to playoffs and winning the playoffs, nothing else really matters. So I'm glad to see he's made the adjustments, and now they turn him loose this year. Yeah.
I was about to say, because the passing yards is adding up.
You got receivers now, right? Last year you didn't have nobody but Lat McConkey, and everybody else you can't even name none of the other receivers they had, but they went to work with the draft. You brought Keenan Allen back, So now Ladd McConkey is the third receiver with yards on the team now. So
and speaking of that, man, Quentin Johnston. Let me get his name right. Let me put some respect on his name. Quentin Johnston. Yes. I remember him coming out of college, and I remember, watching him at TCU, and I was like, man, got all the skills in the world, yards after the catch, but he's a body catcher. And then we saw that rookie year had a case of the drops, and then slowly improved, and then now looking at him this year, like the light bulb turned on for him, man. So how happy are you with that? You just talked about the wide receivers. You brought back Keenan Allen, you got Ladd McConkey, and then if Quentin Johnston can turn into that guy that did that first round pick,
yes,
they're pretty set.
Well, see, the problem with Quentin and the reason why the Charger faithful have been so hard on him. We had Tom Telesco. Quentin Johnston should have never been drafted in the first round. Well, he shouldn't. He was a project. He wasn't ready to step in and take over as a number one receiver. Malik Neighbors came in, was ready from day one. Quentin Johnston still needed a lot of work, coming out of TCU. And then they didn't use him the right way. When he got there, they had him trying to be the receiver that Mike Williams was, jumping for 50 balls, trying to run go routes down. That's not the Quentin Johnston you saw when he played with TCU. A lot of the crossing routes, the slants, and then he gets a lot of yaks after it, And now that they went and looked at a lot of his film from TCU, which is what Greg Roman and them guys said during the offseason, they have a better understanding of how to utilize his skill set. Now you see him productive now. He's not no guy that you could just send deep and say, I'm going to put it up in the air and go fight for the corner to get it. That's not the type of skill set that he have. And now he had 870 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. And now he looked like he's on pace. Matter of fact, he's leading receiver on our team right now.
Yeah, I think I wrote it down. He got right now he's just under 250 yards on the season. So I think 39 is what I got written down here.
Yeah,
for Quentin Johnston, and it's crazy too because I was like, man, because we were in the wide receiver market at the same time. The guy that we wanted was Addison, and he got snatched right before we got a chance. We ended up taking Tay Banks that year. And you see how that's working out for us right now. Hopefully we can get a bounce back.
Well, I wanted that too. I was upset with Tom Telesco. You had Zay Flowers and Addison before Quentin Johnston. We should, if you would take one in the first round, you should have took one of those guys. But Tom Telesco's gone now. We got Ortiz that came from Baltimore, being tutored under Ozzie Newsome for 20-something years, and we got Harbaugh. So now the last 2 years, they've been nailing the draft. So
that's a good tree. That's a good tree. And if you grab any kind of personnel staff from Baltimore, that's a good tree. Yeah. So obviously you guys dealing with some injuries outside of Najee Harris. You got the injury with Khalil Mack. I didn't get an update to see how long is it the wrist? Is it the hand? What is it?
With the elbow. He dislocated the elbow. Yeah, he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Okay. And then obviously we know Slater's out for the season. And then was it Becton that just got hurt too?
Yeah, he's in concussion protocol.
Okay, so it's a concussion.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming he hasn't cleared it yet, right?
No, he's not cleared yet. So it's a possibility he may not play. But, Harbaugh's changed my way of thinking, too. That next man up, everybody gets a paycheck. You know what I mean? And and I'm one that don't like to make excuses. Say, look, if you look around the whole National Football League, the 32 teams, everybody dealing with injuries. It's part of the game. That's what comes with it. So my whole thing is, if your left tackle go down, right tackle, your center, wide receiver, it don't matter. Next man got to get up. And a lot of great players came about once they were on the bench and the starter went down, and that's how Tom Brady's career got started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
take advantage of your opportunity.
Yeah. Yes.
For sure. I'm gonna get to the super chat real quick. Shout out to my man James Purdy with the $5 super chat. No comment. So James, if you got something to say, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'll make sure I read that. But thank you again for the love and support. I'm gonna get to some of these comments before we move on to the next subject.
I want to ask you a question though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I saw your last podcast, man, and you was pretty down. But you were, and I would be too. Look, my son is a Giant fan, man. So.
Okay.
And he's probably watching right now, and I know that most of them have been down. They've been down on Russell Wilson. But Dart Man has brought some energy back to the fan base. I know a lot. It's got a lot of people fired up, and hey man, you never know. I liked Dart Jackson Dart when they took him. I like his skill set. It's a lot of potential there. I don't know what he's gonna do this year.
Yeah,
but he do look like, from everything that I saw, he looked like you guys got your quarterback for the future. But I just want to warn you that Jim Harbaugh is hard on rookie quarterbacks.
man.
They're 8-2 going against rookie quarterbacks.
And that's very true. And the funny thing about that is, going into the season, my whole deal was this: I don't want to see Jackson Dart. If I don't see Jackson Dart, that means Russell Wilson's doing his thing. The team is winning. Right. I said, but if I see Jackson Dart, that means something bad happened. And here we go with the 0-3 start. I also say this, man. A lot of it being down and stuff like that. When I'm watching these games, and again, the ending score is the ending score, but we were in all of these games. The Commanders
should have won that Dallas game.
That Dallas game, that's supposed to be a walk-off touchdown with 25 seconds left.
Absolutely.
You lose a heartbreaker like that, then the Chiefs game, we got the scoop and score that was taken away from Bobby Okereke. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we didn't have a kicker. A couple of dropped interceptions, mm-hmm. and a couple of big pass interference calls for Patrick Mahomes. And at the end, you let people just linger around, and then they gave us with the knockout punch. Punch to Thornton. But that's what it is, man. It's just having those high expectations. Not saying that we had aspirations of being a Super Bowl team or something like that. Yes. For me, it was about respect. Yeah. And I thought after the Dallas game, the offense is getting some respect, and then you throw that stinker out there with the Chiefs, and then everything just comes all the way back. So it was like a roller coaster of emotions the past 3 weeks. And yeah, I was down for a bit, but again, got the news yesterday about Jackson Dart, and again, it gives you something to look forward to.
Yes,
but also I'm not delusional. I've seen the Chargers play. I saw what they did to the Chiefs. Broncos was a little bit closer of a game.
Division games always tough. Yeah, and Broncos had a great defense too.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it for me. I'm just sitting here like I'm waiting to see when this team, because on paper the team looked good. But we already know paper don't mean nothing once the game starts. I want to go shout out to my man Mark Thompson in the building. He says, "Hey Dash and guests, first time I'm making one of these live. Thank you, Mark Thompson, for joining us tonight." Again, Mark is always in the lives. He's on Saturdays. Sometimes he comes on too. He's all the way in Barbados, man. So shout out to my man Mark Thompson. I did see my man Born for Sports in the building. He says, "I'm ready to see what Dart can do. Let's hope the coaching staff puts him in the position to succeed." That's the problem I got right now is with the coaching staff. That's the biggest issue. But I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for that. Then also my man H-Town, what's going on? H-Town, he says it's terrible coaching, inability to maximize talent, and the opportunities during the game, no situational play calling awareness. So you can kind of see the feeling of the New York Giants fan base right now. You got some people, it's a mixture of hope with Jackson Dart, and then it's also, it's the same chefs cooking the meal.
So I think they should. If it was me, I would lower expectations, and they do have a chance, even though it might be small. I've always said that on any given day, the worst team in the league can beat the best team.
Yeah,
but usually the best team win. But this is one of the things that, and it's not a dig, but let's just talk some football a little bit. This is what Jackson Dart is going to be dealing with. Last year, we were the number one scoring defense in the league. So far this year, on third down conversions, they held the Chiefs 5 of 14. Mm-hmm. The Raiders, 2 out of 9 conversions, and the Broncos, 2 out of 13. It tells you a little bit about how good that defensive line is and how well they tackle, and they are so well coached. How do you think you guys going to be able to? On paper, I thought the Giants' defense, talent-wise, I thought you were going to have one of the best defensive fronts in football. But I don't know what happened. It's not translating. Yeah. I actually think it's coaching, but let me hear what you think.
No, yeah. If you poll Giants fans, they absolutely gonna say it's coaching. We got players playing out of position. We got Dexter Lawrence not being a zero tech. They playing a more on top of the tackle as a 3 technique and stuff like that. But they're doing it just so they can get snaps for Abdul Carter. They want to line him
Right.
up over the center, but when they line him up over the center, they're taking Dexter Lawrence away from what he does the best.
Mm-hmm.
Dexter Lawrence had an elbow, that he was dealing with, had surgery. He's not really in football shape yet. And then so you're seeing him get the one-on-ones, but not looking like the Dexter Lawrence that he should have been. And again, but I'll say this. The defense has been good for 3 quarters. For the most part, 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs, it was a 6-6 game up until they had that field goal at the end of the second quarter. And then
I was a Giants fan that day too.
Yeah, you said that too.
Yeah.
I'll be rooting for you guys. Yeah, but I mean, it's the Chiefs at the end of the day. But no, it's the little things. Even with the safeties, the way they played Nubin, different from when he played last year because we got Holland. Again, Polson. It's a lot of opportunities out there being left on the field. A lot of plays being left on the field. Interceptions, penalties. I saw it in the Dallas game. 14 penalties, 160 yards. A lot of times shooting ourselves in the foot, and we're not a good enough team to overcome all of that.
Yes.
So when we get teams, when it's a close game, we got to be able to capitalize, and that's the issue. And a lot of that has to do with coaching and discipline. Now, what I'll say about Jackson Dart against the Chargers, the one thing I will say is when it was Russell Wilson, there was no respect for him taking off or anything like that, or any kind of like design running, for the quarterback. Now, I'm not for just running the quarterback because he can run.
Right.
Jackson Dart, I think. Because it's Jim Harbaugh at the end of the day. You respect your opponent at the end of the day, no matter what the record is. I think you have to respect the threat of the run a little bit more than you had to before if it was Russ starting. But also, he's a gunslinger. Yeah. Now, he might be a gunslinger for the wrong way and just, a couple of them get away. But I just think it gives a defensive coordinator something else to think about. Do I keep some guys home? Do I keep a spy possibly? What am I teaching the edges when it's the RPO? How long are they going to hold before they make that decision to go after the running back or the quarterback, responsibilities like that? So I do think that the DC has to think a little bit more. But at the end of the day, we're talking about a rookie in his debut. We saw him in the preseason against vanilla defenses, and that's why I always tell people to pump the brakes a little bit with Jackson Dart. It looked good in the summer. It looked good in August.
Yeah.
But we're talking about one of the top defenses in the league, the best team in the AFC, and a rookie quarterback and his home opener. So for me, again, it's more about seeing what could be more than I expect him to go out there and just light things up, because I don't think he's just going to be out there lighting the thing. I hope so, though. I hope so.
Yeah, I feel you. They're tested as well too, because you had to go up against Pat Mahomes, then you had to go up against Geno Smith, and a lot of people say what they want to say about Geno Smith, but he had threw 360 yards the previous week, and he took Seattle to the playoffs a couple of years ago too, and they went up against Bo Nix, who had a good year as a rookie last year too, threw for 4,000 yards. So that defense is good, man. They're good, and I feel I hate the fact that we have to play, because my son. I tell you a story about my son.
Yeah,
my son in 2000. He was very, very young at the time. I think he probably was about 7, 8 years old, and he liked the Giants. I have 4 boys and a girl.
Wow.
And I let them choose whatever team they like. My youngest son, that's 25. He's a Charger fan. I've been watching Chargers with him, holding him in my arms. But my son, he loved the Giants. But I didn't know how much he was really affected by whether they win or lose. But when they lost the Super Bowl in 2000,
oh man,
I messed with him a little bit, and I told you guys wouldn't go, and he cried. It hurt him that. That's when I knew, he's a real fan.
Yeah.
And ever since then, he's been wanting the Giants to beat the Chargers, and I think we played 13 times since then. Well, no, over the history, it's been 13 times. Okay. But since 2000, we played like 8 times. And fortunately for me, we won every time. So was pissed because he wanted Russell to do good, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So that if he's doing good, then he would have been the quarterback and give you guys a better chance. But I'm going to be totally honest. I think Jackson Dart do give you the best chance, because I never liked Russell. I told my son that Russell wasn't the guy. I don't know why did they get Jameis Winston, because I don't get it. If you're trying to win right now, why is Jameis Winston a third string quarterback? I would have put Jameis Winston there and bought Jackson maybe week 8, week 9.
Well, the story behind it was this. Obviously you had the free agency. They reached out to Wilson first.
Okay.
Right. And I think he might have been on vacation or something like that, but he didn't get back to him right away. And then the deal with Jameis Winston happened so fast.
Right.
We signed Jameis Winston first, and then 4 days after that, Russell Wilson signed. So, and then we didn't know exactly what was going to happen in the draft, because obviously now we know it was always going to be Abdul Carter at 3. Going into the draft, I was a big Shedeur Sanders fan. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe we can trade back into the first and get Shedeur. When we traded back in the first, I thought it was absolutely going to be Shedeur.
Yeah.
And then we got Jackson Dart. So you know what? I had to change my hat, throw on a Jackson Dart hat, and then we ride with whoever's with the blue. But yeah, no, that's a funny story, because I was hurt. I was hurt by that Super Bowl too, man, because I went into that like we were undefeated in the Super Bowl. Well, we only won 2 before then, but then I was like, we gonna beat these Baltimore Ravens, but nah, not that defense. Not that defense, not that day.
Yeah.
Let me get to a couple more, because I know I'm gonna respect your time. Shout out to my man, the Big Moo in the building. Said, "Yo, Big Dad, what's going on, Big Moo?" A-Rod also in the building. It says A-Rod held that up. What are you talking about? A-Rod hit that up. And then we got a Charger fan in the building. Boat gang or don't bang. 619 says, "Let's effing go Chargers." Now, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. So I did have a couple more questions as far as expectations for the Chargers now.
Okay.
Beyond this game, looking towards the future. What's your next 3 games after the Giants? Or give me the next one after.
Let me pull up. I've been so excited about what I've been seeing so far. I try not to jump ahead. Having to play your division, 3 straight games in your division, and we actually did a whole lot better. But
I think we got the Commanders next. I think it's the Commanders. It might be the Commanders.
It is. It's Washington Commanders.
Okay. And
that's
then
gonna be a tough team.
Well, they should have Daniels back by then, maybe, possibly. He's dealing with the knee sprain, but Mariota looked pretty good last week too. Mariota looked pretty good. What I'll say about our defense versus you guys too. Again, with some of the injuries that you've been dealing with, the next man up on the offensive line, I'm looking at this game like, okay, Brian Burns has been steady this year. Kayvon Thibodeau has been quietly having a good year too as far as pressures. Still not getting home like we should.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at this. We played Daniels first. We played Dak Prescott, which I didn't even think Dak Prescott would be in that type of form already, coming back off of his injury.
Yeah. And
then we got Patrick Mahomes. And I think those are all those guys are good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then now we got Justin Herbert, who can do both. Like we see him throwing the ball, but let's not forget he's actually really athletic too. 6 foot. Yeah. He's 6'4",
6'6".
Is he that? Damn.
Yeah, he's 6'6". Right. Yeah.
240?
240. Yeah, big boy.
He can move. And he can move too. So I think the way we played these other guys, these other quarterbacks, it kind of warms you up for what Justin Herbert can do. Again, you got the guy with the passing ability, can make all the throws just like a Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Athletic enough. I won't say he's as athletic as Jaden Daniels, because that's just a freak athlete.
Right, absolutely.
Position.
I agree with that.
He's not far off it for a guy that's 6'6" to your point, and 240 pounds. But I think we've seen enough good quarterbacks that if we can somehow slow down your run, because that's what our biggest issue is being able to stop the run, and try to contain. Not try to stop, try to contain and keep things in front of us.
Yeah.
Another thing that we've been having issues with is tackling. And when you got guys that can get yards after the catch, like Johnson now, who woke up, Lad McConkey is a problem no matter where you put him and who you put on him. And then Keenan Allen, just a steady pro.
Yeah. Trey White is coming on.
White and then you guys got the
tight end Gaston
from Syracuse.
That's right.
And he's playing because your other tight end got hurt, right?
Yeah, Will Dissly got hurt, so he's playing. Disley's more of a blocking tight end, but this guy's a pass catching tight end. Nice. Had a good game.
Yeah, Gas is nice. I remember him out of Syracuse. A little bit a lighter tight end, like you said, big, rocked up wide receiver, if you want to put him in that category. But he's playing well too. It's like I said, I dig into college football a lot, and I do a lot of mock drafts. and I had a couple of them with him, in that 6th round and stuff like that. Let me get to the super chat real quick. Shout out to my man Jay Hernandez with the 1999 super chat. He said, "What up, Big Dash? Jesse Minter, future Giants head coach." He's on the short list. He's on the short list for sure. He says, "Hit that like button." That's a fact. Hit that like button, man. And then also, Dad's Life says, "Gatson, my dude from SU."
Yeah.
That's a fact, from Syracuse. So,
well, let me say this though. You mentioned about your run defense. Your run defense is 31st in the league, so I think you're gonna see a lot of Omari and Hampton.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. And the crazy thing about it is we went into the offseason trying to address it because we couldn't stop the run in 2022 with Wink. And then now we're here with Shane Bowen, and the only reason why we picked him up because when he was a coach at Tennessee had one of the best, if not the best, rush defenses out there.
Yeah.
And then now we're just looking at it. But I think a lot of it has to do with this year has a lot to do with, again, defensive alignments, where Dexter is, and the guys playing next to Dex. We got Roy Robinson Harris, he's a journeyman. I actually liked him. He's okay. And then we got Darius Alexander, our 3rd round pick that we just drafted, and he's coming along a little slow. He ain't quite right yet. But we got issues at the linebacker level. And again, a lot of people are breaking tackles on it. So that was always going to be my fear with the Chargers, because I remember last year I saw Justin Herbert in his stats. He wasn't running. Wasn't throwing the ball. I knew it was Harbaugh. Heavy with the run. I said, you know what? But then I was like, okay, now then the first game, I'm like, okay, well they ran okay, but it wasn't nothing. And then you see Omari Hampton this last game, and he running all over the place.
You know what? I think Jim Harbaugh is starting to evolve the way that teams are winning in the NFL right now. When him and Greg Roman still had that 1980s mentality, just run the ball downhill and play good defense. But he's looking at what Josh Allen is doing over in Buffalo, right? He see what Joe Burrow has done and been to a Super Bowl. He look at what Lamar Jackson is doing. And I think that now, all off season, I kept hearing him say, I wake up in the morning and I'm always thinking about how to make Justin Herbert a Hall of Fame quarterback. How can I make Justin Herbert the best quarterback in the league? And you've seen since the season started, it's not that the running game don't exist. They're actually not trying to run. They're just letting Herbert just wing it around because he had weapons now. And I think that that's surprising because the Chiefs said after the game, we was expecting a heavy dose of the run game, and we prepared for that. And all of a sudden, he unleashed Herbert. And now we finding out they got toys now. Last year, you only had McConkey. Now you have McConkey have about 4 or 5 catches now, where last year he was averaging about 10, 11 catches a game. So, I'm happy with where the team is at. I think it's going to be a problem for the Giants, but I also know that upsets happen every week. So I'm not putting the cart before the horse. I'm going to sit back and just watch, but I believe the best team will win. I think we only have a weakness on the offensive line. Everywhere else, on every level, when it comes to linebacker, you got Dalen Henley as a star linebacker now. In the secondary is one of the best in the league right now. And this guy here, Derwin James.
Yeah.
I'm saying Ronnie Lott, Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins. I'm saying he's from their cloth.
Yeah, he got a little bit of all that in him.
Yeah, he's that good. He covered tight ends, covered receivers, as long as it's not Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors too fast for Derwin James. But he covered tight ends, receivers. He get on the line. He come off the edges and get sacks. He's everywhere. So Dart gonna have to find where number 3 is when they're on that line, because he plays everywhere.
Yeah, now you see that Dark friend says, go easy on Dart, you will still win. Laugh out loud. Now listen, man, it's been a roller coaster for Giants fans, man. We, like I said, up and down. But again, right now it's more about glimpsing at what could be in the future. Now I'm hoping Jackson Dart can come out there and light it up, man. Yeah. I'm hoping. I don't expect it, but I'm absolutely hoping for that. So I done gotten that part of the show where we just talk about predictions.
Yes.
I don't know. Do you do score predictions? Or some people don't do score predictions. They think it's a jinx or something like that. But I always ask. What's your score prediction?
I don't want you guys to get mad at me, man.
No, you ain't got to be. Go ahead.
31-10 Chargers. And I'm saying it this way. Look, I know what we have now. I know who Herbert is. You know, the league knows who Herbert is after five. This is sixth season. You know who Herbert is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have a good receiving core. We have a great defense. Our defense is just gets after it constantly all the time. So I'm just going to say, if we are who I believe we are, with Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman and Jesse Minter, who has been a mastermind as a defensive coach, and I would hate to lose him, but you know, I can't be mad if this guy get promoted to a head coach, but I can't. But I'm saying, if we are exactly what I believe that we are right now, the Giants can't play with us Sunday. I'll be disappointed if it was a close game. If it was like a game like Dallas, they're gonna be okay, but maybe my defense ain't as good as I thought it was. I don't think Dart does that. I think Dart gonna be really good, but I think Dart gonna struggle a lot Sunday. I do. 31-10. I'm sorry.
No, that's a fact, my man.
And if we lose, I'll come back on your show and we can talk about it if we lose. If we get upset, I'll come back and I'll eat it.
Hey, it is what it is. Like I said, trust me. The way the season started for me, I was fiery at the beginning. They done beat all the fire out of me already in 3 weeks. Because usually I'm a lot liver. I'm more calm now. I'm a little bit more modest now, and that come with the losses. My man H Town says I predict this to be a Chargers trap game of the season, but they should win 28-7. So even though he said it could be a trap game, he's still giving the win to the Chargers 28-7. My man TD Midas, what's going on, TD Midas? He said I'm not nervous about Dart. A lot of people saying they're not nervous about Dart. Trap game. Yeah, trap game 24-7. Listen, I saw the Cleveland Browns.
Giants 24-17. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
look, under Brandon Staley, it would be a trap game under Brandon Staley. Under Harbaugh, like one of our biggest issues in the past, we would play a good team and do really well, and then we would play a team that was a last place team, and we would just be flat and lose. So now, over the last couple of years, we've beaten the teams that we're supposed to beat, and then we're splitting with the really, really good teams. So under Harbaugh, I don't see a trap game under Harbaugh.
Well, the same guy that said 24-17 Giants was the same guy that said 28-7 Chargers too. So he came back.
Wow, really?
He came back in the same minute and said that too.
Okay.
My man Mosey said, major salute to all Giants fans and respect to our guests. That's a fact. We keep it respectful in here. My man South says, totally agree. I see more big issues coming. Pause for my Giants. Shaking my head. And then I am somebody. What's going on? I am somebody. First time seeing your comment tonight. He says, been a football player all my life. I said, I'll never give in until the last whistle. Giants 21, Chargers 17. So we got a 24-17 for the Giants and a 21-17 for the Giants as well. And I'm gonna come to my prediction too, and then we're gonna let you out there. Obviously, I never concede. I never concede games before they happen. Even if I don't expect it, I still root for the W. I'm gonna keep it real easy.
Okay.
I got the Giants winning 24-21.
Wow.
Field goal does it. And maybe Young Kway Koo, the new kicker that we picked up, kicks the winning field goal.
You guys picked him up?
Yeah, we picked him up. He's on the practice squad right now. Graham Gano, he's old now, getting hurt in warm-ups.
Well, listen, if you're depending on a guy that's on the practice squad right now, that tells me all that.
We got two of them on the practice squad right now, competing to who's going to get called up. That's where we at right now because we refuse to put Gano on IR. So I mean, listen, again, all of us in here, we're not pleased with how this coaching has been going for this year so far, and it reminds us of the previous 3 years, where sometimes the game management, clock management, penalties, not being prepared, looking like you're not prepared after saying you had a good week of practice. So it is what it is after that. But that's where we at, man. That's the emotions for the Giants right now.
How do you feel about Daniel Jones going 3-0 and lighting it up in Indianapolis? Oh my God, I feel so bad for you guys, man. You could let Saquon go and have a year for the ages, and then Daniel Jones actually look like a quarterback now.
Now, you know what's funny about that?
That's what's going to kill Debo.
Listen, well, he's already the move that he made today. That there's a Hail Mary anyway. He done pushed all his chips into the middle of the table. This is not the move that you make this early. Yeah. And the funny thing, one thing that he said about it too, he said Jackson Dart's going to be the starter for the remainder of the season.
Yes.
So he's letting everybody know. So even if Jackson Dart look bad, we riding with Jackson Dart. Ain't no we gonna put Russ back in anything like that. So we'll see what happens with that though. So again, I'm respect for your time. Said let the people know where they can find you. Let the people know what you've been up to and what you've been doing.
All right, I do a podcast called Chargers Talk 4630. Every Friday I preview whatever game we're gonna have on Sunday, and on Monday morning I do a recap of our previous games on Sunday. With under the Brandon Staley era, it was tough doing podcasts, man. It was tough doing podcasts, man. But it's a whole lot better the last couple of years under Jim Harbaugh. But you can find me on YouTube. I'm on X at Retired in 26997. That's Retired 26997. And you can find me on Chargers Talk. If you want to talk some Chargers football, I invite guests on. Hey, man, Dash, maybe I can have you to come on and be a guest on my show. I would love that.
No, yeah. Absolutely. Open invitation for you as well. Whenever you got time for me, whenever you got with all your winning that you've been doing, whenever you got time for me,
stop trying to jinx me, man. I know what you're doing.
You see right through it, right?
Yeah.
I line you up, right? I
like what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
I've been on your show. I've been checking out a lot of your archives, and you making Giant fans proud with what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Like more than I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Especially when you build something from scratch.
Yes.
Like you're doing yourself, man, yes. and you're doing it by yourself too.
Yeah.
I appreciate that more than you know, brother. Respect.
Yes. It's easy to do these podcasts when your team is winning. It's really hard. No, it is, bro, because I went through it. If you go through some of mine under the Brandon Staley era, bro, you probably think I was an angry man, if you've seen some of the podcasts I did when Brandon Staley was there. I don't know how he even got a job, but respect to you, man, for what you're doing. And you got a live chat, you got big time supporters and a lot of people who gave me some love in there, gave me some shout outs. And I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the invitation. I'll come back any day, and I got to bring you on soon too.
No, absolutely, man. You have a good night. Again,
thank you as well.
Thank you.
Let's go Giants, except Sunday.
I always say I wish people luck. I don't wish people luck when they play against us.
Yes.
I hope that everybody's healthy at the end of the game. That's what
Absolutely.
I do.
Absolutely.
You have a good night, man.
You too, man.
Thank you. All right. So we got a couple more comments I want to get to. Obviously, we haven't got a chance to talk about I haven't got a chance to talk about Jackson Dart live with you guys. So definitely want to do that before we get out of here. Shout out to my man H-Town, said, yeah, being Dash after the Giants win. Yeah, it's crazy after these games, man. But I can't wait for this win. The win got to come at some point in time, right? The win got to come. I'm hoping that it's this week. Shout out to my man, that dark friend said, best Giants channel on YouTube. I appreciate the love and support, man. We grinding over here. You guys already know what it is. My man Sam POV says Harbaugh is like 8-2 against rookies. I think Russ was the rookie to beat him. That might have. I got to check the Carfax on that, but I believe you. I absolutely believe you. Where would we go? Pablo Villas says, I agree, Dash. Your content honestly awesome. Sincerely, sir. I appreciate that as well. There's a couple more comments also I want to get to. J9 says, DJ never looked this good. Better coaching for sure, but he definitely needed a change of scenery. I do agree with that. And also, he got one of the Flyers nicknames now. Indiana Jones is fire. Indiana Jones is way better than Danny Dimes. I don't care what anybody says. You can argue with anybody. Indiana Jones seems like it's meant to be. And it is what it is. I'm not mad at Daniel Jones. Had he went to like the NFC East and was balling, that's another thing. But he went all the way out to the Colts doing this thing. I don't got a bad bone in my body for him. My man Mark Thompson said a lot of stubbornness in the decision making. That's a fact when it comes to this coaching staff, man, and the alignments and how they play these guys. Ant says DJ was 24 of 44 in New York. I'm good. I don't care if he goes 17-0. Now, a lot of people feel the same. Listen, I'm happy he's over there. I don't want him back. I don't want him back at all. We moving on with Dart, man. McCann Cornell says it's a major jinx. And he ain't fall for the jinx, man. He didn't fall for the jinx. A Dad's Life said Graham got to go. Listen, man, they playing around with the money. You can save about $4 million. Well, maybe not $4 million now because he got a couple of game checks. But definitely got some money with Gano if you want to go ahead and move on from him. Nobody would be mad. It'd be a perfect time to do it. It is what it is. My man J9 says, I'm more concerned with play calling and schemes. I just don't see the Giants players getting a ton of separation consistently. That's all about scheming, like you said. You're concerned about the play calling and schemes. It's easier to me, man. when you look at these games, when you look at Malik Neighbors, just look at how much respect they give him. And when I say respect, I mean yards. How much cushion they give him. When you get that much cushion, you have to make adjustments. You have to go to the quick game. What's wrong with running slants? And we haven't seen too many slants. I think Malik Neighbors might have caught one slant this whole season, just one. We got to be better. We got to make the adjustments. I said before the Kansas City game, I said the way that these linebackers play, they're so disciplined in their zone coverage. At the snap, go to where the linebacker vacated. And that would have been to the tight ends, but we didn't get our tight ends involved in that game against the Chiefs at all, really. And again, a lot of plays left on the field, something to be mad about. Didn't really target the center of the field, except for that one pass to Wan'Dale Robinson. Everything else looked like it was outside of the hash marks. But that's why you move on, man. That's why you move on. I still think it was early, but I understand why it happened. I put out the video saying it's time because I really believe that, and I do think that you'll see more of the center of the field, middle of the field, targeted this game with Jackson Dart. Now we got to play smart. We have to simplify it for Jackson Dart again. He has not seen a defense with this type of complexity. When you play in the preseason, it's a lot of vanilla schemes, and we saw he was able to do his thing against those type of defenses. Heavy RPO this week, heavy quick game. Get your tight ends involved. Couple of screen plays to the tight end, to the running backs. Maybe Turbo Miller gets called up. Waiting on that news too. I'm assuming they have to call him up at some point in time. We don't have any other running backs that we can call up to, and we haven't made any signings yet, at least not of today that I saw. So yeah, man, I'm waiting to see what happens, man. Shout out to my man Rick Torture in the building. It says Dash it is on. New York Giants, you busters. That's a fact. Shout out to Jay Hernandez, said great content. I appreciate the love and support. My man Michael Knight says, Dash, do you really think we have a chance on Sunday? I think we have a chance every week. And the funny thing about it is, not only going up to the game did we have a chance, did I feel like we had a chance to win all these games. When we actually were playing in these games, we had a chance to win every game. And that's the part that's so frustrating when it comes to the Giants this year. You were in every game. In every game. Even the Commanders game, it was an 8-point game for most of that game up until the fourth quarter. When you look at the Cowboys, we should have won that game. That was a walk-off for 24. It was a walk-off with Wan'Dale Robinson first, and then we got the walk-off with Malik Neighbors. And then we play stupid defense, and we got a stupid prize of losing. And then obviously with the Chiefs let us hang around the whole game. That Bobby Okereke, what could have been, that should have been a scoop and score right there. And then that changes, the outcome of the game, in my opinion, if we can go up there, because then that puts the Chiefs on the defensive instead of playing with a comfortable 3-point lead for most of the game, man. It's crazy, man. And that's the frustrating part, because the defense did enough to win some of these games early on, and then the fourth quarter collapses got us. And then the offense not showing up in game 1 and game 3 ultimately is what, got us to where we are right now with the 0-3 start. So they moved on to Dart. Let's see what happens now. Hopefully we can, hopefully we can steal a win here against those Chargers. Again, that's the best team in the AFC. But I still got any given Sunday. We can see what happens. Shout out to my man Danny Boy, says, great job, Dash. As always, salute my G's. Salute to you. Appreciate the love and support always, man. Especially from over the pond, man. Jonathan Pride. Jonathan, you going to be mad at me? I missed the pause. I don't know what the timestamp is, but I missed the pause, and it's egregious. Wait till you see it. Yeah, you might have been here since the beginning, but I'm telling you, I missed one. So don't, take it easy on me. Pause. He says, week 6 is all I'm going to say. Shout out to the chat. Always, it ain't safe. Week 6, New York Giants beating up on the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that's a Thursday night game, too. I hope so. Seth Dawkins says, people forgetting Chargers traveling out east, time difference. They played 3 teams. They used to playing 3 straight division games. That's a fact. I think he had a good chance for. Where was this at 10 minutes ago, bro? I could have used that in the conversation. Bro. Sean Jackson says, what up, Big Dash? Bro, I'm nervous, frustrated, but also excited with Jackson's first start coming. I'm hoping he can live up to the New Jack City nickname. That's still a dope name too. New Jack City nickname one of your people gave him. Russ deserved better. I'm still mad Russ ain't win that game, bro. That Dallas game. I'm still mad at that. That could have been a nice walk off for Russ. And you know what's crazy about that? I really do believe. I do believe. You let me know if I'm bugging or not. If the New York Giants actually would have won that game against Dallas and still lost that Kansas City game, you might not have seen Dart this week. I really do believe that. But the whole going 0-3 wipes out that fantastic game that Russ has, and now we're sitting here waiting for Jackson Dart. Anakin Skywalker, young Anakin Skywalker on the way. Dope Dez says, Big Dash, no one even noticed that the red zone routes were in front of the end zone. Russ lose the Super Bowl passing in. Nah, that's a fact. Yeah, it was four stick routes, man. It looked like 4 stick routes. You still throw that to Theo Johnson though. You still try to give Theo Johnson a chance to make that play. I know sometimes Theo Johnson got stone hands, brick hands, and stuff like that, but that's still better than hitting the goal post. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, still better than that. H-Town says, for real, the O-line injuries, the Chargers have right guard, center, and tight end is going to be something Bowen takes advantage of. I hope so. Jay Hernandez says New Jack City is fire. Nah, New Jack City is fire. Sam's POV says Chargers have better coaching, which is a benefit. Yeah, better coaching is always going to be something that just think. And you know what's crazy? Just think about the New York Giants in 2022. Somehow, some way, that team was coached better than that roster's talent. You dumbed it down, and I say this respectfully, you dumbed the offense down just the same way that the Colts are dumbing it down, and that's and simplified. I'll say that way. They simplified the offense. They went heavy Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones did his thing in 2022, running for first downs and stuff like that, but also making the throws when he needed to. You look at the Colts. They have an All-Pro running back in Jonathan Taylor, just like we had with Saquon Barkley. That offensive line is better than us, and they're running a simplified offense, easy for Daniel Jones to execute. And all he got to do is be on time, and he looks fantastic out there with the Colts. We'll see what happens. But again, he played the Dolphins, he played the Broncos, he played the Titans. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give him all that credit yet. Let's get through the season. H-Town says Darth Vader has a chance to put up points for sure. I think so. Again, you have to respect his ability to run. So it's going to give the defenses something to think about. It's definitely going to keep them honest too, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that Kafka and Brian Dable come up with the correct scheme, some versatility, make the defense think about things, because again, any given Sunday it can happen, and I do think our defense should be able to get home with all those injuries on the offensive line. I'm hoping that Dex wakes up finally, but I also hope that Dexter plays nose tackle primarily and not less than 50% of the time, because that's not a recipe for success in my opinion at all. Jonathan Pryor says if Jackson wins 6+ games, Dable keeps his job. Watch, I do believe that. If he can run off 6 games, depending on who he beat to, because you beat the Eagles, and you split with Dallas too, or something like that, then Dable might be safe. But it depends, man, because he is on a boiling hot seat right now, and he showed all his cards early in the season. It's still the first quarter of the season, and Jackson Dart has been named the starter, so it is what it is. Sam says Bo Nix and Mahomes can run, and Harbaugh wasn't having it. True. Well, Mahomes is not really a runner. Bo Nix, crazy thing, Bo Nix might be a better athlete than Mahomes, but Mahomes just got something about him, man. But Jackson Dart is really good running the ball. Like, Bo Nix wasn't known as a runner. Mahomes definitely wasn't known as a runner. I got to give that edge to Jackson Dart as far as being able to run with the ball over those guys. But no, you're absolutely right. That defense is solid, man. That defense is solid. The number 1 team in the AFC. Like, for real, that's no cap. That's no cap. The Chargers are a very, very good team. I can't wait to see them against teams like the Ravens and the Bills to see how they match up with those guys. But nah, the Chargers is fantastic right now, man. Luann says these 3 games was preseason, really. I tell you what, Luann, you stick to your guns, because you've been saying that and you're sticking to it. I hope you're right. DeMarco says we could have put Fedoni in the game in that situation because he is he has a high catch radius. Yes, but he can't even get a shirt. Meanwhile, the guy that I was showing a lot of support for, Jalen Hyde, he's getting the jersey, but he can't even get the snaps. But Thomas Fedoni absolutely is a red zone threat in my opinion. 6'5", almost 6'6", 250-pound tight end, damn near 7-foot wingspan on him, man. He's Frankenstein out there. There's no reason why he can't get a jersey, in my opinion, especially over Manhurst. Did you see that one pass Manhurst got? Rumbling, fumbling, stumbling, or just falling down after the catch? Come on, man. I think we got to stop messing around, man. If we're going to put the rookies in and play the rookies, play the rookies. Especially when they got the ability to be better than the guys in front of them. For real. H-Town says Chargers don't even play the Ravens, Bills, Lions, only play Eagles, Chiefs, maybe Steelers play better than. I'm talking about the playoffs, man. The Chargers going to the playoffs. I'm talking about the playoffs, not the regular season. Yeah. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about the playoffs. For sure. C. Barkley says this is a desperate move by Dable. I'm nervous for the rookie. It's definitely a desperate move. Definitely a desperate move. And did you notice how the guys are talking, how Dable's talking now? You know, this is my decision. This is my decision. He made sure that everybody knew that it was his decision. Separating himself or being forced to separate himself, from everybody else. This is his decision. And then also with the whole Kafka is still calling plays. I still have confidence in Kafka. It is what it is. Kevin Rampart says, come on, Dash. Let's get some energy in here. Chargers on upset alert. Let's go. Kevin, listen. What makes you that confident? Like, for me, I see a path to victory. There are some keys to victory. The unknown of Dart. How is he going to play? Is he really as calm in the pocket as we saw him in this? If we see all of that, that's fine. Like, the thing, Kevin, is not about Jackson Dart. For me, is about the coaching staff, especially on offense, coming up with the correct scheme for him. That's what I want to see. I want to see what it looked like in the summertime. I want to see the heavy RPO. And if we can do that, fantastic. It's gonna be a lot of Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart this week. And hopefully, we can succeed in that for sure. But I'm sorry that the energy is down, man. Ant says perfect game for Hyatt with the RPO. Yeah, all right. Perfect game for Hyatt with the RPO. Now we gotta slow that down, man. Slow that down. My man Jonathan says, I know it's off topic, but Carson Wentz, oh boy, I said it first. You know what? I didn't watch that game. That's probably one of the only games I haven't watched yet. How did he do? I don't remember how he did. South says, that's what I'm saying. How as us Giants fans feel, can we feel good about this? Oh, I see what you mean. How can we feel good about this? Listen, we running off on hope, man. We're running off on hope. Again, Jackson Dart. Can he do it? That's the main thing. Can Jackson Dart do it? I hope he can. Make a believe out of me, man. I'm ready to jump out the window again. Trust me. When I gave this team so much credit in the summer. You guys saw the videos. You guys was tapped in. You were tapped in. You saw the energy. You lose 3 straight games, and it's not just losing 3 straight games. It's how we looked and going down memory lane of how this offense and the play call and all that stuff coming back. That takes the wind out your sails, man. And that's where I'm at right now, man. But I need a dub. You saw me after the Dallas game, man. Even after that loss, the way the offense was looking, I was live after the loss. It is what it is. My man Big Reggie 28 said, what up, Dash? Dart is next up. That's a fact. Luann says the players believe Dart is ready. Dart said he is ready for pressure. Dexter said he likes Dart a lot and the defense will be behind him. I saw that interview in front of the locker. Yeah, man. Listen, a lot of people believe he's going to bring that juice. That's the question. Bring that juice. Pause. I do think he brings a lot of energy to the team. I do think they will rally around him. This team rallied around Tommy DeVito in 2023. So if Tommy DeVito can get that kind of love from the fan base and the players, just imagine if Jackson Dart is successful. It's going to be crazy out here. It's going to be Darth Vader helmets in the crowd and everything. Everything. Everybody gonna be doing lightsabers in the crowd, all that stuff. Watch, and I can't wait to see it, man. And don't steal my idea, Giants. Don't start selling lightsabers, blue lightsabers, at the concessions without cutting me in. I really mean that. Off Broadway, what's going on? He says I think it's premature. I hope he does well, but I know this franchise. I'm not insane, right? Listen, we're all a little bit crazy as Giant fans, all a little bit crazy. You can't blame us though. Yeah, listen, I got hope too. I got hope. H Town said it's Darth Vader time. That's a fact. You got New Jack City. You got Darth Vader. You got Action Jackson. That's another one that I'm throwing out there too. Hopefully one of these things actually, nicknames stick. So we'll see what happens. That Dark Friend says 0-3, and I'm going to have such a nervous stomach Sunday. I don't care if we win or not. Listen, man, I'm gonna let y'all in on something, right? So obviously we had the last game on Sunday night, right? Usually I watch games by myself. I usually watch the games. I'm by myself. This game, everybody, the whole family want to sit on the couch, and the Giants put up that performance. I'm seeing people stare at me from the corner of my eye. People laughing, my kids laughing, stuff like that. Listen. I can't wait for this game, man. I need a better taste in my mouth, pause, than these losses, for sure. And I'm looking for something to cheer for first, and then if we get that W, even better. But I just want to see us be competitive. And I hate saying that 4 years into a regime, that I'm still hoping to be competitive when we should be contenders after 4 years of a regime. Off Broadway says, Dash, did you see the Dable presser? He said he went to the players and they were good with it, per Pat Leonard. I saw it. Yeah, man, listen. First thing he said, he went to Jackson Dart, he went to Russell Wilson. He said Russell Wilson was an absolute pro when he gave him the news. And then he also let it be known that Russell Wilson is going to be quarterback too, because some people thought that, either Russ might be traded, which that still might be something on the table. But then also people said he should automatically go to QB3, which, given the scenario, you knew that wasn't going to be, wasn't going to happen. But for me, man, I'm just ready to see this team succeed. I'm ready to see something different from what we've seen. I'm ready to see the New York Giants take advantage of every opportunity, because right now we've seen a lot of plays be left on the field, offense and defense. Guys running around open on offense and guys dropping interceptions, penalties, missing sacks, missing tackles, and stuff like that. We've seen a lot this season already. And I just want to see this team be competitive at the end of the day. And that's not asking much after 4 years into a regime. Shout out to my man Joseph Wilcox with the $5 super chat. He says, big upset this week. I can feel Jackson Dart bringing the energy with Scatterboo. Now, that's a fact. And shout out to you, Joe. Glad you was able to make it to the show. Gonna wrap this thing up. Again, this is a Wednesday show. We only do an hour. I'm already over the time limit. Again, I thank everybody for the love and support. I see it's 107 people. Make sure you hit that like button, please. Let the algorithm know that we was in the building, and let other Giants fans know that we in the building as well. Gonna go through a couple more chats. So if you got a comment, if you got something you want to talk about, I got about maybe like 4 or 5 more minutes. Go ahead and get your comments in. We'll read them and we'll discuss them really quickly. Seth Dawkins says, I don't know why I feel like Dart been ready, Dash. Something about him. He got some moxie and confidence. Definitely got a lot of confidence. Definitely got the moxie. Definitely got the swag. And I think the better he plays, the better it's going to look. And I think the team feeds off that energy, just like the team fed off of Cam Scatterboo, making the plays that he made. Imagine getting that kind of play from your quarterback. It makes the whole team energized for sure. Steven Arts, what's going on, Steve? He says Dart is spanking the Chargers defense. I hope so. I really do. H-Town says Tasmanian Cam is the grit of the team. He's a dog. He has that dog in him. He really plays with physicality that the team can take from. Now, that's a fact. We see it. I do hate that Tyrone Tracy is injured, because, again, when we looked at that Kansas City Chiefs game early in that game, that first series, Tyrone Tracy was having himself a game before Scatterboo even got in there. Like we saw, we were able to run the ball, and that's what gives me confidence too, because no matter what the offense of the Chiefs has been looking like this year, that defense is still a solid defense, and we were able to run the ball against the Chiefs. Now, our route concepts and being able to pass the game and scheme Malik Neighbors open, that was horrible. Can we put something together this game? Can we build off of the running game from last game, and then also add Jackson Dart and add these add a passing game on top of that? That's what I'm looking for, man. That's the first thing I'm going to look for. Are we going to be aggressive? I understand he's a rookie. This is going to be his debut, but are we still going to be aggressive in some way, in some form, right? I hope so, man. I hope so. My man Michael Knight says, I hope to see you in Jersey soon. Who knows, man? Crazy thing about it is, man, if we were playing better, I wanted to go to a home game, man. But it's hard to dig in the pockets, man, and put some money out for this Giants right now for this performances, man. Just look, and shout out to the people that are season ticket holders. Shout out to the people that are there, paying for the parking, paying for the concessions, paying for the drinks, and then having to sit and watch bad games. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the real MVPs, man. For me, I get to pick and choose. I was thinking about the Raiders game, and that's all the way in December. And if we're not looking good, I'm probably not going to go. But that's my plan. Sean says, a lot of young, hungry dog energy coming up on the New York Giants sideline with Dart, Scatterboo, Leak, etc. I'm getting Drew Brees vibes from Dart. Man, if you can beat Drew Brees, fantastic. Here's the thing. Can he be a shorter Josh Allen? He ain't got the arm of Josh Allen, but he plays with that kind of emotion. No fear, wanting to run people over. He got to slide, though. He got to slide, and he got to get out of bounds for sure. John Gruden told him to his face, don't be a dummy. Don't play dummy ball and try to run people over, especially with your throwing shoulder. Because guess what? If he go, I don't even want to say it. We'll be looking at Russ again. H-Town says, Russ is ready to get traded to the Bengals and then retire, go to the fashion shows with Sierra. He's doing that without being retired. He's at fashion shows now. Now, I think he likes being in New York. I think his wife likes being in New York, too. They're celebrities. They're superstars. It is what it is. My man Greg T says, salute Big Dash. Still my favorite Giants YouTube personality. No Jay Glazer. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the love and support. There you go. I like that. That's what I like. Prime Time 816, you said it. Young John Elway, even though John Elway had a cannon. John Elway had an absolute cannon, but being able to make the plays, a lot of people don't remember how athletic John Elway was. John Elway was like one of those first real running around making plays type of quarterback. Well, not really, because there was some people before him. I got to pay homage to that too. But John Elway was really that. Also, Steve Young. Steve Young. If you remember Steve Young, them 90 team, Steve Young, that same type, athletic quarterback that can make all the throws, but also was a threat when he took off. I like that. I like that a lot. Stephen R says Dart is Hurts plus Rivers Moxley. Rivers Moxley. I like that. I always like Rivers' attitude. Tough guy, tough quarterback. Not even tough football player for a quarterback too. Talk trash to the defensive lineman while the game was still going. He didn't wait to the end of the game to talk trash to the D-line, knowing that he could get hit the next play. But Dart is Hurts with Rivers Moxley. You know what's crazy? You probably need to run a similar offense to what Hurts is doing this week. The RPOs, the quick game, and then a couple of deep shots. That might be the scheme. That might be the scheme for the week, man. A couple screenplays too. You have to really take advantage of the athleticism of Dart for sure. Greg says Elway has a top 5 arm. Yes, absolutely. Elway had a cannon for sure. Steve was a lefty though, and Steve ain't run no. Steve was fast, but he ain't run no 4.4. I'm sorry, Steve wasn't running no 4.4. Steve was nice, but he wasn't running no 4. If Steve ran a 4.4, he probably had way more rushing touchdowns than he did, and he had a lot. Steve would take off, but he had a 4.4. You would know it. You absolutely would know it. H-Town says, everyone get ready for Darth Vader to say to the league, I am your father. That's a great way to end it right there. I'm going to go ahead and start that comment. H-Town, shout out to you. Thanks to the 94 people still in the building. We're going to wrap this thing up. I still haven't eaten dinner yet, and that's what I'm about to do right now. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And for one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation.